Credit pathways are growing across higher education, but the infrastructure behind them hasn't kept up. And when that happens, you don't just get more work, you get student confusion, staff burnout, and missed enrollment. And to be honest, no educator wakes up excited to spend their day in spreadsheets and disconnected systems. I'm Arthurton from Campus Credit. We help colleges manage credit pathways, things like dual enrollment and credit for prior learning inside one system. Not just to organize them, but to actually make them work at scale. Right now, 2.5 million students are participating in dual enrollment across the US. These programs are growing fast, but most of them are still being managed by very small teams, sometimes one or two people, using spreadsheets, email threads, and disconnected tools. So, what happens? Students don't know where they are in the process. Staff spend more time managing logistics than supporting students, and institutions lose opportunities because the system just isn't optimized. Most colleges think about these as separate programs. Dual enrollment over here, credit for prior learning over there, and articulation somewhere else. But in reality, these are all just different workflows inside the same system. And when you treat them separately, complexity grows. We focus on two key areas: dual enrollment, which is already a large growing space, and credit for prior learning, which includes things like CTE articulation, portfolios, certifications, and credit by exam. And what's interesting is while dual enroll has tools, many of them were built 10, 15 years ago. Credit for prior learning still doesn't really have infrastructure at all. And that's where the opportunity lies. There are two ways to understand campus credit. The first is the institutional lens, so governance, approvals, compliance, reporting. And the second is the human lens, what students, faculty, and staff actually experience day to day. And both need to work at the same. At the center of everything is what we call the course instance. This is where policy becomes executable. You define the term, the partner institutions, the instructor, credit value, enrollment windows, seat limits, grading requirements. And once that's structured, the system handles the workflow. No more guessing, no more chasing approvals, no more disconnected tracking. For students, it creates clarity. They know exactly where they are and what to do next. For teams, it reduces manual work and removes bottlenecks. And for leadership, it provides real time visibility into what's happening across enrollment, equity, and program performance. And behind the scenes, there's clean reporting, integration with systems like Banner, Colleague, PeopleSoft, Salesforce, and a role based learning portal that actually makes adoption easier, not hard. So, if this sounds familiar, if your team is dealing with student confusion, staffing strain, or fragmented systems, then this is exactly the problem we're built to solve. I'd be happy to connect for a 20-minute conversation, understand your environment, and see if campus credit is the right fit. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about software. It's about making these programs actually work for the students they're meant to serve. Looking forward to connecting.